All of a sudden, I noticed people didn't want to be seen with me anymore. They didn't want to walk down the halls with me. I was all alone. My friends were seeming to disappear right out of my life along with my vision. So I thought maybe it's time for a guide dog, because everyone loves dogs. Before I knew it, I was off on my own at just 13 years old on a train to the guide dog school in Quebec. And here I am in Quebec, 8 hours away from home, the youngest by 10 years. I don't speak a word of French. They didn't speak much English, and it was the first opportunity I ever had to get to know a group of blind and visually impaired people for an extended period of time. I realized pretty quickly that they were just like me. I was chatting with an older woman who knew a little bit of English, and I found out she had the same disease as me and had absolutely no sight left. And I knew that that was my reality. It wasn't pretty. I could lose this little bit of sight I was holding on to within, who knows, a matter of weeks, months if I was lucky. And returning home after one incredibly intense month of training, I had my first guide dog, a beautiful black and white baby girl named Gypsy. Gypsy was my everything. She became my best friend, my eyes. I knew that I could trust her. My life was in her forepaws. I could tell her anything. I knew I could tell her if I liked a boy and she would tell him. I knew I could trust her with my life. I could share my adventures as well as my losses with her, including the eventual loss of my vision. I was now living life completely in the dark, as somebody who's considered completely blind. Being new to blindness in my life, it was a time of change and great uncertainty, especially involving stairs. Ankle meet third stair from the bottom, facing the floor, mully meet crutches. Yep. It was going to get worse before it was going to get better. I now have to go to school every single day, giving up that one thing I had left, my independence. I couldn't use a guide dog anymore. I couldn't use a cane. I had to rely on classmates, people who used to be my best friends, but now couldn't even stand to be around me to help me get around safely. I can remember one day begging my mom not to send me to school. I had no friends. The rumors and the gossip was so bad. Social isolation, I couldn't stand it anymore. But knowing how important school is, she sent me off. It was lunchtime. A group of girls designated to help me get around safely while I was on my crutches showed up for their duty. Not that they wanted to be there. They told me that they weren't hungry, so we weren't going to go to lunch, giving me no choice but to follow them. They started leading me outside, down a hill, across a field, and eventually we ended up in a forest. I was tired, so I sat down and I put my crutches by my side when one of the girls came up to me. "Hey, Molly, can we see your crutches for a minute?" And I didn't even have a chance to answer before I reached out and they were gone. I heard their voices off in the distance. "Ew, look at that bug, squishing with her crutches, roll them in the mud, get them all dirty." Just in time to hear one of the girls grab my crutches, smash them against a tree, breaking them, which was followed by the sound of their footsteps and their laughter fading away as they left me. I just started to panic. I realized I was alone in this forest. I couldn't see, I couldn't walk. They had my crutches, my backpack. What was I supposed to do? I was supposed to be in class. Was anyone going to notice I wasn't there? Would they miss me? Would they come looking? Would they even care? And I tried to stand up and reach out for something to grab onto, but as soon as I bared weight on my ankle, I just collapsed to the grass. And I just started crying because I didn't know what else to do. Eventually, I realized I had my cell phone in my pocket. I grabbed it, frantically dialed my mom's number. I was talking and sobbing so much she could hardly understand me. When she finally calmed me down enough to figure out where I was, she rushed off from work and came and got me. Scooped me into her arms and carried me to the car like good moms do. That night, my family decided they would not be returning me back to school. I would finish my last 6 weeks of grade 8 from home. Laying in bed, I had a lot of time to think about everything I had been through, everything I had lost. And I hit rock bottom.